Hello, my name is Stacey Brook, and I am the founder and chief advisor at College Essay Advisors. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the University of Southern California's supplement. So there's no nice way to say this, but the University of Southern California, USC's application is a little bit all over the place. And it is not the easiest in the world to answer because it just asks you for a lot. That said, I know you can do this, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for how to complete this supplement and complete it well. So your first task is to complete one of 3 prompts, and I'm going to go over each option one by one and break down what I believe they're asking for. Choice number 1. USC believes that one learns best when interacting with people of different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. Tell us about a time you were exposed to a new idea or when your beliefs were challenged by another point of view. This prompt is actually fairly similar to the common application prompt that asks you to talk about a time that you challenged a belief or idea. So if you've chosen that option on the Common App, you might want to move in a different direction for this essay and choose one of the other 2 prompts. If this is something that you do plan on tackling here, I can tell you a little bit more about what I think they're looking for. So ultimately, I believe this answer requires quite a bit of self-awareness and introspection. This is an essay that's going to show your ability to adapt, your humility, and generally speaking, your openness to new ideas. You actually have 2 options here. So you can talk about just being exposed to a new idea, something that perhaps expanded your world and viewpoint, or you can talk about how your mind was changed about something. How did someone else's perspective or something you maybe hadn't quite thought about before make you think about the world in a new way? The second choice for this first question for USC reads, USC faculty place an emphasis on interdisciplinary academic opportunities. Describe something outside of your intended academic focus about which you were interested in learning. As you're going to see in just a few minutes, USC is going to ask you about the major that you plan on participating in. So this is your opportunity to show at the admissions board that you're well-rounded. Think about the subjects outside of your intended major and the subjects that you focused on in the past that might be interesting in terms of their intersection and overlap with the academic focuses that you've already poured your heart and soul into. You also don't have to choose something academic. Think about some creative hobby outside of the spectrum of the things you've learned that might intersect with your academic interests in some kind of interesting way. You don't have to be weird for weird's sake, but I'm just saying, think outside the box. You don't have to feel like you're contained to sort of the course catalog here. It's also important, if you choose this prompt, to describe the reasons behind your interest in learning what you say you want to learn. This can feel random. It has to feel rooted in experiences that you already have, even if they aren't the primary academic experiences that you've pursued in your education thus far. The third and final option for this prompt reads, what is something about yourself that is essential to understanding you? This is your free-for-all prompt. It's kind of the topic of your choice. Some students choose to work on other applications and see what comes up and take some great idea that they have for a more specific prompt and kind of adjust it, make it fit the word limit, and set it in this space. Don't be afraid to pull from other applications. Chances are, if you have identified something about yourself as important to reveal to another admissions committee, it could be important to reveal it to USC. Also, if you decide to start this prompt from scratch, remember to imbue this with your authentic voice. Make sure you're using a topic that hasn't been used before in any other essays and that doesn't come up anywhere else on the application. And be specific enough in what you're writing so that no one else could put his or her name at the top of your essay. Finally, we come to question number 2, which reads, describe how you plan to pursue your academic interests at USC. Please feel free to address your first and second choice major selections. And this is a 250-word limit, as is the previous question with the 3 options. So this is a research-based question. It is a prompt that is specific to your academic interests. This is basically the why question, but kind of in a shortened space. Some of the other universities ask for kind of an elongated exploration of what you want to do when you arrive on campus. Here, you only have 250 words, so you need to be selective in the things you're highlighting. You're going to want to start this essay with research. Pretty much every school now has a fairly extensive website and course catalog that you're going to want to pour through to try to find the elements of the college experience here at USC that feel essential to you. USC wants to know that when you get there, you're going to hit the ground running. So identify the highly specific opportunities that feel like they were just made for you. Beyond that, I say this often in videos, but you want to build a bridge between your own experience and the resources offered at USC so you can show not only that USC is your perfect school, but that you are an amazing fit for them. Now we come to the short answer section of the USC application. I love this, but I'm a nerd about this stuff. I consider these short answers to be almost more like brain teasers than they are essays, because for many of them you have 25 characters, 100 characters. So you're definitely trying to fit a lot of information into a small space. As you start to approach these, you're going to want to think about how you can squeeze the most information about yourself, the most variety of information into these answers. This is a place where you can be playful, where you can be funny, where you can really present a survey of what interests you and what makes you tick. So let's explore them one by one. Describe yourself in 3 words, 25 characters. So here you have the opportunity to get a little creative with this question. Of course, you can use adjectives. Maybe you want to use a noun and call yourself, a healer, an empath. Think about interesting ways to answer this question that other people might not consider. I think everyone's first instinct is to, go for adjectives, gracious, diligent, other things along those lines. Think about how you might be able to expand on the formula. Additionally, if I were you, I would just spit out as many words as you possibly can. And then maybe this is one of the few cases in which I actually think it's kind of useful to use a thesaurus, to just look for words that might be a little bit off center of what other people might say about themselves. Just think about what other people are likely to write in this space and just try as hard as you can to choose something a little different. Okay, now we come to the 100-character limit list of varied prompts, which again, I think are super fun. Okay, so the following prompts have a 100-character limit. We're going for variety. My recommendation is to just spit out as many answers as you possibly can for these things as with the 3-word question that we just went over. So I'm going to read through them and then talk about it just a little bit more. So what is your favorite snack? Best movie of all time? Dream job? If your life had a theme song, what would it be? Dream trip? What TV show will you binge watch next? Which well-known person or fictional character would be your ideal roommate? Favorite book? And if you could teach a class on any topic, what would it be? Now, these questions may seem completely random, but what I believe admissions is trying to get out of you is your more fun, human, and real side. What are you like in real life? What are you watching on television? What books really inspire you? Sometimes your favorite snack, let's say your favorite snack is leftover lasagna that your grandmother makes from scratch. Like that gives a little bit more insight into, let's say, your big Italian family. For something like a dream trip, maybe that is something you can talk about if you've been learning Japanese and you're just dying to go to Tokyo. That's another place where you can squeeze in a small factoid about yourself that might not appear anywhere else on the application. That is the USC application. It is enough. It is enough for you to be challenged. Honestly, I think this one just takes a little bit of time, especially for the short answers. The challenge here is more about brainstorming than it is about writing. But I know you guys can do it, and you just need to get started early. If you have any other questions for me, please don't hesitate to leave them below in the comments section, and definitely check out more of our videos. We will be covering more short answers and have more tips and tricks that will be useful to you. So subscribe to our channel, and I will see you soon.